A submarine was lost on its way to see the sinking of the Titanic ship. The efforts to rescue the submarine, whose tickets were sold for $250,000 and which carried 5 people, were continuing. The submarine carrying the crew, which set off from Canada's Newfoundland Island, lost communication 1 hour and 45 minutes after diving last Sunday. Thereupon, a rescue operation was launched with the United States Coast Guard teams and ships departing from Canada. In this operation, in which planes also participated, some special microfans were placed to listen to the bottom of the sea. While some of these microfans connected to the buoys are listening passively, some of them send sonar signals, a kind of ping, to the bottom of the sea, actively monitoring their reflection and trying to locate the objects under the submarine. It is thought that there is enough oxygen in this submarine called Titan, with a length of 6.7 meters, which also has a small round viewing window in front of the submarine and tries to descend into the Titanic wreck at a depth of 3,800 meters, for a maximum of 96 hours, that is, approximately 4 days. Titan's carbon fiber hull connects 2 domes made of composite titanium, a material that can withstand deep-sea pressures. At 3,800 meters below sea level, it is exposed to pressures approximately 380 times greater than the atmospheric pressure we are accustomed to on the Earth's surface. It is believed that the following people were inside the submarine: Shahzad David, a 48-year-old Pakistani-British businessman, and his 19-year-old son, Suleiman David, 58-year-old British billionaire Hamish Harding. Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a 77-year-old Frenchman, and Stockton Rush, 61, CEO of the company that built the submarine. Stockton Rush was bragging about the features of this submarine last year, saying it only had a button inside. Even more interestingly, he was demonstrating that they were using an ordinary game console controller to manage the submarine, and even if you take that console and push it forward, if you pull it back and forth, it goes backwards. What was the purpose of him proudly explaining the features of such a vehicle whose tickets were sold for $250,000? People really have a hard time understanding it. During the search and rescue efforts to find this submarine in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, it was said that some sounds were caught by the sonar buoys very recently. According to the information provided by the United States of America authorities, these voices were heard on Tuesday for about 4 hours and at regular intervals of half an hour. An expert at the Austrian Submarine Institute says that since such sounds are made at regular 30-minute intervals, it increases the likelihood that they are coming from a source other than humans. Considering that a submarine powered by a titanium battery has lost all contact with the ship on the surface, there may have been a power outage there. They may have suffered a malfunction in the pressure housing. Titan's composite hull is of course built to withstand the intense deep-sea pressures there, but any defect in its shape or structure can compromise its integrity and risk of explosion. 2 experts say another possible scenario is that the Titan may still be intact and its passengers may still be alive, they say. They even say it may have become entangled in the wreckage of the Titanic underwater. In another possibility, the cables in the fire submarine may have been short-circuited, causing a fire. When the Titanic was built, it was the largest ship in the world. On her maiden voyage in 1912, on her way from England to New York, she struck an iceberg and sank. The location of this shipwreck was only discovered 73 years later in 1985. And since then, that wreck has become the focus of attention of both scientists and enthusiasts. The movie made about him became one of the most watched and box office revenues of all time. The director of that film, James, sank. Last month, a company that took 715,000 photos of the sunken ship from different angles prepared the most detailed 3D representation of it ever made. The big and luxurious ship is her dramatic story and a mystery under the ocean waiting to be discovered.